Alright, with the end of the last era, we are going to be starting the new era now. I think the last era was what? Era of Anniversary? Now it's Era of Andor. So, that gives us a whole bunch of new kit reveals. So many so that they put them into 2 posts, because I guess it was just too much to fit them all into one. I mean, this one, if you were to go straight through, this is a 34-minute read. So this is obviously a massive article. Anyhow, that's not how I plan on doing this. I'm going to do each kit as its own thing. So it's obviously going to chop it up. So you're not going to get the full 34-minute experience. But anyways, they have this little bit right here that they say like a release schedule. So you got Kleya Marki, Vel Marki, Cinta Marquee, Deidre Marquee, Major Partagaz Marquee, Cassian Andor Undercover, and KX Enforcer Droid Marquee. Those are the scheduled dates for when all this is supposed to be happening. You know, the KX Enforcer looks like a good time. Late April. It'll be hopefully much warmer than things are now. I'm just saying, I live up in, you know, the New England area, and it's been pretty crappy this winter. Literally freezing cold all the time, tons of snow. I'm sick of it. So, you know, seeing April looks good. Anyways, that has nothing to do with anything. But what we are going to do is get into the first kit reveal, which is for Kleya. One thing I want to say is, if I'm saying these names wrong, I haven't seen the Andor show. I don't have internet or anything, so it's not really a readily available option for me to do. So if I'm butchering these names, my bad, I guess. Anyhow, this little blurb right here is kind of funny, because this is just like a straight up CG lie. It says, unfortunately, not all kids had their art approved in time for this post, but I wanted to make sure you at least had the information for them to read through. As I get the approved art, I will edit this post with them. No, you won't. That's what they said last time with the Era of Anniversary. All we had was Stormtrooper Luke's animations and stuff, and they're like, well, as it becomes available, we'll update. No, they didn't. They never did. So I'm sure what we have here is what we're going to get. They're never going to update this. But anyways, much like with Stormtrooper Luke, she's the first kit reveal, so she actually has, you know, all her animations and stuff. So anyways, let's just get into it. Kleya Marki arrives at the Hall of Tables as Luthen Rail's most trusted partner and the operational backbone of the entire Rebel network. Kleya proves that the rebellion, big-ass space, was built by those willing to do whatever it takes, even when it meant crossing lines others wouldn't dare. Whether meticulously gathering intel for years or getting her hands dirty to strike at the Empire directly, she stands as a symbol of determination and pure grit. Someone stopping at nothing to protect the rebellion and make sure it survived. Kleya is designed to be a high-powered Marquee attacker who slots seamlessly into the Cassian Andor Undercover and Luthen Rail Rebel Fighter Squad. Luthen Rail. He currently, unless they're gonna change him, but last I knew he had real strong synergies with Mon Mothma. So now they're suggesting to take him out of a Mon Mothma squad and put him with Cassian? Because I would assume that this new Cassian's gonna have a leader ability, unless he doesn't, and then you'd just be slipping him in under Mon Mothma as well. I don't know. But the way that they're phrasing this makes it sound like it's Cassian with Luthen. Anyways, also high-powered. I would not imagine like this semi-innocent looking mother to be a high-powered character, but alright. Anyway, so her basic. What Revolution looks like. It seems like it is very basic. She's just shooting at the target. Nothing too special there. Basic ability. What Revolution looks like. Deal physical damage to target enemy. If Luthen Rail was an ally at the start of battle, this attack can't be evaded. If all allies are rebel fighters, this attack will always be a critical hit if able, and deals 150% critical damage against undermined enemies. How does that make any sense? It says this attack will always be a critical hit if able. It will always be, but if able. Those seem contradictory. It's either it always will be or it might be. Like, what is it? Anyways, design notes. Undermine. It does plus 25 speed, but also minus 25% critical avoidance and critical chance. Can't gain bonus turn meter. What? Undermine seems like it's a buff, but it's something that goes on your enemies? Because it says deal that much extra critical damage against undermined enemies. And they're like, undermine, oh, they get some speed up, but they get minus critical avoidance? Okay, and crit chance. Like, oh, okay. Well, oh, that's so bad. Anyways, Kleya's basic represents her cold precision. With Luthen present, her attacks can't be evaded. When the enemy is undermined, she capitalizes on their weakness with devastating critical damage, 150% bonus. With all Rebel fighter allies, she's guaranteed to critically hit if able. What the heck does that mean? How is it guaranteed to happen only if able? That is so contradictory, that doesn't make sense at all. Luthen Rail, he grants unavoidable attacks. Cassian Andor undercover. Cassian spreads undermine across enemies, setting up Kleya's critical damage bonus. I thought her kit was going to have this undermine thing. I guess not. It's a Cassian Andor thing that she's just kind of picking up from him. Rebel fighter allies. The critical hit guarantee ensures consistent damage output. Yeah, but apparently the guarantee is only if able, whatever that's supposed to mean. Inspiration. Kleya was shown defeating guards and troopers on her path to reach Luthen in the hospital. This was the core of the rebellion and who she's been the entire time. Someone with no wasted movements, no hesitation. Okay, well, the guards seem kind of wussy, and troopers obviously are known to suck, so I mean, I guess it'd be easy to defeat them. Nothing special there, right? Special ability. I know what I want. Some dick. Okay. Pulls up some kind of a computer thing. And then it does some damage or something. And then the GIF kind of just like weirdly restarts. Special one. I know what I want. Cooldown of 4. Inflict undermine. Okay, so I guess she does inflict undermine. I was saying it was just Cassian. I guess not. But inflict undermine on target enemy for 1 turn, which can't be dispelled. Call Luthen Rail and another random Rebel fighter ally to assist, then Kleya assists. So she assists herself. Rebel fighter allies gain offense up for 2 turns at the end of that turn. Undermine. Well, we already learned what that does. Design notes. Undermine can't be dispelled, making it a reliable setup tool. Luthen Rail, always called to assist, and his attacks can inflict additional debuffs based on his Axis/Curator bonus. Cassian Andor, Jug. If enemies are already undermined from Cassian's kit, this ability further capitalizes on their compromised state. What does JG mean? I thought it was Cassian Andor undercover. Yeah, so what's the JG mean? I don't know. Anyways, inspiration. I know what I want reflects Kleya's grit as a child. Kleya and Luthen were masters at planting bugs and leveraging that information to destabilize their enemies. This ability was inspired by that coordination, where a target enemy is selected and then undermined. I feel like undermining, you know, I keep saying undermine and stuff is a feature or whatever the word is I'm looking for. Are you a debuff or something? But anyways, all I keep thinking when I hear undermine is I'm thinking of the Underminer from the beginning of Incredibles 2. You can't call your move something that's like famous for something else already. This is do or die. So what is it? Should be a huge move, no? Okay, a little bit of an aerial assault. It kind of reminds me of I don't know. It's a big combination. It's almost like what's his name? Wow, why am I drawing a blank? That guy that wears the blue cape. Well, whatever. Why am I drawing a blank? Are you serious right now? I don't know, that guy though. He's got that his special ability. And then you have that's kind of like what the heck's the other one's name? Jyn Erso. She's got an ability like that. Just all of them have abilities like that. This kind of reminded me of Lando. Jeez, why did I forget Lando's name? Like, he's such a main character. Seriously right now? Ugh. Anyways, special 2. It's got a cooldown of 4 on a Zeta. Deal physical damage to all enemies and inflict burning for 1 turn. Remove 50% turn meter from undermined enemies and increase their cooldowns by 1. Target ally gains Keen Stratagem for the rest of the encounter. If target ally is Luthen Rael and he has 25% health or less, defeat him and he can't be revived. Revive all rebel fighter allies with 100% health. Inflict ability block on all enemies for 2 turns, which can't be dispelled, evaded, or resisted. All rebel fighter allies gain rebel network for the rest of the encounter, which can't be copied, dispelled, or prevented. That's kind of weird. So you kill Luthen if he has 25% health or less, but then you get everybody else. So in a way that could be good. If it was like you and Luthen left, and then you do this move, boom, now you got a team, instead of a team of 2, you're at a team of 4, but it's like, I don't know, it's kind of weird to still sacrifice somebody, especially somebody that you kind of have a lot of synergy with. I mean, this kit sounds strong with Luthen, so you're gonna take someone out that you have, you know, big synergies with. I don't know. I guess the trade-off is kind of okay though. Anyways, Rebel Network, plus 30% critical chance, plus 30 speed, and immune to healing immunity. When this character is defeated, revive with 100% health. Whenever this character defeats an enemy, dispel all debuffs on this character, and all allies recover 100% health and protection. Okay. That's pretty solid. That sounds like an Omicron almost. Where's this Rebel Network stuff? Yeah, it says Keen Stratagem. So what is this Rebel Network? Where's this coming from? Oh, all Rebel fighter allies gain Rebel Network for the rest of the encounter. Never mind. Okay, so that's when you kill Luthen Rael. Okay, so maybe, yeah, kill Luthen Rael then. Wasn't paying attention. Rebel Network is pretty solid, especially with all this crap. There you go. Design notes. Turn meter removal 50% and cooldown increase +1. Severely disrupt undermined enemies. Keen Stratagem is a permanent buff that boosts offense and potency for the chosen ally. The Luthen Sacrifice Zeta. If Luthen is at 25% health or less and is targeted, Luthen is defeated and can't be revived. All rebel fighter allies revive at 100% health. All enemies get ability block for 2 turns, can't be cleansed. All rebel fighters gain Rebel Network. This is a permanent buff with auto revive and team-wide recovery on kills. Luthen Rael, his unique, keeps him protected until his health drops to 25%, at which point he gains damage immunity for 1 turn, giving Kleya time to set up the sacrifice. Kleya is unique. The first time Luthen's health drops to 25%, Kleya takes a bonus turn, giving 1 shot to use the sacrifice mechanic, and this is do or die. Rebel Fighters. If the entire team comprises of Rebel Fighter allies, they all benefit from Rebel Network. I mean, that obviously makes sense there. Inspiration. This ability represents the final moments between Kleya and Luthen, where she was prepared to make the hardest decision, to kill her closest ally and ensure the rebellion's protection. The explosive animation represents her using a detonator to escape the hospital she infiltrated. The name, This is Do or Die, represents everything she does for the rebellion. It's kind of weird. For an ideology, you're going to go and kill your best friend? It's weird. Fact. Does Luthen have to be the target to trigger the sacrifice? Duh! What kind of dumb question would that be? Duh. Luthen Rael must be specifically targeted and be at 24% health or less for the... Duh. Can I choose not to sacrifice Luthen if he's... I mean, you could. You just don't use that move and Luthen will stay. Simply target a different ally with this to grant them the Keen Stratagem without... Yeah. I mean, it's kind of pointless, though. I mean... At first I was making fun of it, but it almost makes sense. Yeah, just kill him. You get a lot of boosts for your whole entire team. It's worth it. Unique ability. I don't have lately. I have always. Zeta and an Omicron. Final text. Kleya has plus 50% potency and plus 30% critical chance. Whenever an undermined enemy inflicts Kleya with a debuff, she dispels all debuffs on herself and reduces her cooldowns by 1. Jeez. Alright. Allies with Keen Stratagem have plus 25% accuracy, and they ignore taunt. Okay, the second part was lame, but that first part was pretty solid. She she cleanses herself of all debuffs and reduces her cooldowns by 1. So if the other team keeps laying down debuffs, she's just going to be over here, cleanse, cooldown reduction, cleanse, cooldown reduction. Like, getting it so that way then like all her specials are at 0 cooldown and stuff, just because the other team's like, I'm gonna try to put the buffs on you. Whenever Luthen Rael uses a special ability, inflict the target enemy with Undermine for 1 turn. Kleya gains 10% turn meter whenever a rebel fighter ally is damaged once per turn, 20% if that ally is Luthen. While Luthen Rael is active, Kleya can't be targeted and has plus 100% evasion. If Cassian Andor Undercover is active and Luthen was not at the start of battle, Kleya gains the same benefits. The first time Luthen Rael's health is reduced to 25% or less, he gains damage immunity for 1 turn, and Kleya takes a bonus turn. I don't really know why you wouldn't have Luthen with her, though. But okay, I guess. Alright, so now the Omicron. While in 3v3 Grand Arenas, at the start of battle, if there are no GL allies, and if the ally in the leader slot is Saw Gerrera or Mon Mothma, Kleya gains bonuses based on the leader. If the leader is Saw, she gains Axis. If the leader is Mon Mothma, she gains Curator. Until the end of encounter. If Luthen Rael is an ally, Kleya can't be defeated until his health is reduced to 25% or less. The first time Luthen Rael's health is reduced to 25% or less, Kleya resets the cooldowns of her special, This Is Do or Die. So that way then, she can kill him and the other two, her and the leader, can get the bonus things. Alright, Axis. So Axis is what you would get if you had Saw Gerrera as the leader. So with Saw Gerrera as the leader, whenever Kleya uses I Know What I Want, inflict buff immunity on target enemy for 1 turn, which can't be dispelled. All allies gain evasion up for 2 turns. Ew, it's kind of lame. I don't like that one. So let's see what happens if you're with Mon Mothma. Whenever she uses This Is Do or Die, rally Mon Mothma and all rebel fighter allies. All allies gain critical damage up for 2 turns. Mon Mothma and all other rebel fighter allies gain 30% offense stacking and are immune to turn meter reduction for 2 turns. If an ally already has Keen Stratagem, grant Keen Stratagem to all other rebel fighter allies until the end of the encounter. Yeah, that's way better. So if you're going to put her under one of these 2 leaders, definitely Mon Mothma. Not only that, but Mon Mothma also gives you that extra character, you know, the summon. So even though it's 3v3 Grand Arena, you end up as a 4v4, or 4v3, I mean. And that's just better, too. Yeah, that's way better. Curator's way better than that Axis crap. Let's see, design notes. Untargetable, plus 100% evasion. While Luthen is active, enemies can't select Kleya. Debuff cleanse. When undermined, enemies try to debuff Kleya and... whoops. She cleanses and reduces cooldowns. Keen Stratagem bonus. Allies with this buff gain accuracy and ignore taunt. Omicron 3v3 Grand Arena. Kleya gains Axis under Saw or Curator under Mon Mothma, and her cooldown resets when Luthen hits 25%. Luthen Rael. The unique revolves around protecting and synergizing with Luthen. Saw Gerrera 3v3. The Axis bonus adds buff immunity and team evasion up. Mon Mothma 3v3. The Curator bonus turns Kleya into a powerful team enabler with Rally, critical damage up, stacking offense, and Keen Stratagem spreading. Yeah, like I said, way better than the Saw Gerrera nonsense. Inspiration. I don't have lately, I have always. Reflects Kleya's masterful management of the many spinning plates it took to balance planning the rebellion. This is her ensuring the team is set up to target the right enemies and hit them hard. Alright, so it looks like that's it for Kleya. So I don't know if Cassian's a leader. It almost sounds like maybe you would just throw her under Mon Mothma still. So that way then Luthen is still getting the synergies. Luthen's gonna be, jeez. This is gonna make Luthen wicked good. I just unlocked him recently and I was at first kind of like, yeah, I don't care about this guy. Then I looked into his kit just as a refresher and I was like, oh, he's got a lot of synergy right there with Mon Mothma. That's good. And now you got this broad coming to the game, so it's like, oh, she's got a lot of synergies with him too. Put them on a team together. Holy crap, it's just synergy central. It's gonna be a solid team. Anyways, so yeah, Kleya. That's her kit reveal. I am a little bit late at doing this because I just have had a lot of crap going on lately. I have not had time to be able to make a video, make any of these videos, these kit reveals. So yeah, at the time of this upload, I mean, Kleya's Marquee is already active and she's in the game, so this is kind of lame to be doing this now, but it is what it is. And yeah, right after this should also be the upload of that Marquee if you want to check that out. And yeah, if you don't, whatever, at least you're here for this, and thanks for that. And until next time, I said see ya.